If you feel behind in life, even though you did what you were told, school, work, responsibility, restraint, that doesn't mean you messed up. It means the timeline you were promised doesn't exist anymore, and nobody told you it changed. Listen to how people describe it. They say things like, I'm doing okay, but I feel stuck. Or they say, I thought I'd be further along by now. Or, I don't understand where the time went. These aren't reckless people, they're careful people. The ones who delayed fun, they skipped risk, they played it smart, and still, they ended up watching life move sideways instead of forward. That feeling isn't personal, it's patterned. Here's the shift that explains everything. The old system rewarded sequence. You do things in order, and stability follows. The new system rewards timing. You miss the window, and effort alone can't catch you up. That's the break most people never saw coming. Housing, healthcare, education, insurance, these didn't just rise, they front loaded. So by the time you did things the right way, the entry price had already moved. You didn't arrive late, the door moved. It used to be you work, you save, you upgrade your life. But now it's risk, stress, and maybe stability. If you avoided risk to be responsible, you didn't fall behind. You were overtaken by volatility. You're working, paying your bills, staying afloat, but none of that shows up as progress. No milestone, no marker, no moment where it clicks. So your brain interprets consistency as failure, and that's psychologically brutal. This is where people say, I just need to catch up, or they say, I should have done more earlier, or I made the wrong choices. And that explanation feels honest, but it's incomplete because even people who did take risks early are feeling it now too, which means the issue isn't your decisions. Feeling behind isn't about pace, it's about reference points that no longer exist. You're measuring yourself against a version of adulthood that quietly expired. Here's where this turns dangerous. When people feel behind long enough, they stop initiating. They stop planning long term. They stop imagining future versions of themselves. Not because they don't want more, but because expectation feels unsafe. That's not laziness, that's protection. People respond in predictable ways. Some numb it with distraction, constant noise, no reflection, and some overcorrect with more pressure, more hustle, more burnout. And then you have others who disengage. They lower their standards, they live smaller lives, and they have fewer wants. All of these reduce pain, but none of them restore momentum. Feeling behind costs you confidence to move, a willingness to risk, and trust in time itself. You start believing effort won't matter, and once that belief sets in, progress becomes harder, even when opportunity appears. This hits hardest if you follow the rules, you avoided big mistakes, you delayed gratification, and you expected time to reward patience. You weren't wrong. You were early to a system that ended. Here's the truth that doesn't fully comfort. You're not behind in life. You're alive in a transition period where the old path no longer works and the new one isn't clearly marked yet. And the real risk isn't being behind, it's spending years and years trying to catch up to a finish line that was quietly removed. That's how time gets lost. Not wasted, misdirected.